Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is time for Taroscopes again. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Sag. That's Sag Sun, Sag Moon, Sag Rising for the month of June 2024. So we're going to talk a little astrology. Your ruling planet, Sag, which happens to be Jupiter, has just changed signs. It's moved out of Taurus, which I personally have completely enjoyed, into Gemini. Now, Gemini is the sign that's opposite you, and Jupiter will be in that sign for a year. So that activates your seventh house, and your seventh house is your house of relationships. It's your house of relating. It's also your house that deals with the psychology of listening. So you will be expected to listen to quite a bit that's coming to you or at you. Sometimes it may feel that way. Jupiter is an expansive principle. It is about coming to an understanding about things. There's a lot of facts and a lot of information coming in. It will come in through your conversation with others. You know, my grandmother she actually was a Capricorn with a Libra moon. And she used to say that if you really want to know about a person, you just have to listen. They'll tell you everything. And so this is an opportunity for you to really listen this year, as it were. And then, of course, because we have a new moon in Gemini on the 6th, and we have Jupiter in Gemini and Mercury in Gemini moving into Gemini, and Mercury conjoining Jupiter in Gemini, and all this Gemini. This month is going to be full of information coming at you. And so you have to do your best to discern what you're hearing and what you're listening to, and sort of come to some sort of idea about it. Of course, if anybody can take information and make it into something useful, it's Sagittarius. That really is your nature. But Sagittarius does tend to be somewhat opinionated, and they know what they know what they know. And this year for you, and then this month, especially at the beginning of the month, is really going to require you to put on your listening ears and listen to what's being said. You can formulate your theories and your ideas later, but right now it's about taking in information. One of the things about the seventh house, besides the fact that it's the house of relationships, including marriage, and relationships where you're on an equal basis with somebody, not like parent-child or teacher-student. These aren't those. These are equal relationships, right? Relationship between equals. It's also the place of open enemies. So you will know who your enemy is and know your enemy. But you'll be able to discern that. You'll be able to see, who's working to help and who's working not to help. And you have no problem picking those people off, so I'm not too worried about it. But do know that that is going to be a theme through the year, and maybe especially at the beginning. We do have that new moon in Sagittarius on the 6th, excuse me, new moon in Gemini on the 6th, full moon in Capricorn on the 21st. That's right after the sun moves into Cancer. The sun moving into Cancer is your eighth house. Your eighth house is also a relationship house, but it has more to do with your intimate, emotional relationships and people that you share your resources with. So that's always a little bit more fraught. But there is an illumination on the full moon that brings in that energy. And the Cancer Capricorn axis, which the full moon is happening in, is an axis of security. And so this might be also a good time towards the end of the month where you're evaluating your shared resources with others, and how do you trust them? Can you trust them? There can be some trust issues that come up with that, but you're pretty perceptive, so I don't worry too much about it. You're not going to fall for somebody's story. You're going to look at it in a very sort of perceptive and intuitive way. Let's see what else. I think that's what I really want to say about this month for you. If you want more specifics on the astrology, you can check out my astrology of June. I do a Numerology Kabbalah. That's usually around 20 minutes. And then each week I go into the astrology of the week, so you can check those out. Those are on. Those will come out as, you know, the weeks progress, if you want to dive a little bit deeper. All right. And of course, you're a Sag, so of course you do, right? All right. So that's the story for that. Let me grab a deck here. I think we're going to use, I'm a little torn. I think I'm going to use the Crow deck. You know, I try to keep track of the decks that I use every month. And but of course I don't. And so I don't know if you had a Crow deck last month, but you're getting the Crow deck this month. I'm also going to pick a rune and an ancestor, an angel card. So let's just shuffle these cards out. I'm here in my office. I'm doing this reading on my stained glass table, so it's a little loud as the cards hit. I usually do this up in an upper bedroom in my home, and I just never have enough space to do a good shuffle. Plus, I wanted to get down into the office now that the weather is nice and kind of enjoy the space. I hope you're checking out my mornings walking through the gardens. If you're not familiar with that, every morning I talk astrology and I walk through the garden. And right now the garden is in all its glory. In the winter, when I walk through the yard and people are like, why is she walking? I see sticks. Now all those sticks have leaves on them, so it's really good. All right, we start with the High Priestess. Look at that. And it's interesting because this is the second card, but doesn't that look like Gemini, right? What's the difference? So the High Priestess is things being revealed. There are secrets. Now, these are secrets that may be being revealed to you. Whether you want to share them or not is up to you. This is also on the Tree of Life. Hold on, let me grab one of my trees of life and I'll show you where this sits on the tree of life. I think it's significant for you, Sag. Hold on. Okay, so this is, I've been working on a couple of tree of life. This is my latest project. I did this one and I did this one. This one's not quite done yet. But, so I'm trying to do a series. It's hard to see because it's metallic paint, but we'll use one. So this is the Tree of Life, and the High Priestess, okay? The High Priestess sits on this path right here. This is Kether, this is the crown. This is our crown chakra, this is our connection to source. And so when this path gets activated, it's like source coming down, the center pillar, the pillar of transformation, to Tiphereth, which is connected to the heart chakra. So this is spirit speaking or spirit downloading information right into our heart chakra. So that's the energy right now for you, which is pretty powerful as an energy. Okay, let's see what's crossing that. Ooh, the Magician. So the challenge here is you're getting information, but the challenge is to whether to act upon it or when to act upon it. Okay, this is about concentration. This is and the information coming in can be so overwhelming that you're like, whoa, what do should I say something? Shouldn't I say something? But of course, if you're going to err on the side of anything, it's going to be to say something, right? But it may not be the wrong thing to do. So we're not saying it is the wrong thing to do. But the question is, with all this information that's coming in, what actions do I take? How do I focus my intention? What's the next step to take? Let's see what's underneath. We have the Page of Cups. So this is good information. This is messages of love, perhaps, or just messages in general that are pleasant. Generally, the Page of Cups is quite pleasant. Let's see what's in the past. Yeah, so the Tower. Yeah, so we had a recent Tower moment. maybe whatever information came in as a you had the tower and then the information came in, right? Like, because a tower moment can take you unawares, right? It can take you unawares, and then all of a sudden your whole life changes and shifts, and then you suddenly become aware of something you hadn't seen before. And so that's very possible. And of course, the challenge is, what do I do next? What do I do next? Or fly, McFly. In the sky, we have change. We have change. I'm not sure that you need to know what to do next necessarily, although you will always be asking, because Sagittarius does like to have a plan in place. But there is changes happening. Things in the world are changing. Things in the world are changing. In the immediate future, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is about shoring up your foundations, your financial foundations. So that is something that you definitely want to spend your time doing, shoring up your financial foundations. And you may seem a little bit stingy with this energy, but it's okay. It's okay, because this is gonna help to shore up your foundation. There's nothing wrong with shoring up your foundation, for sure. This Page of Cups at the bottom of the reading, this illumination, may have something to do with a child, a grandchild, something like that. That's what came to me. So you can decide what that is. How it's seen from the outside. You're the queen of your domain. Yeah. You're the hearth. You're the keeper of the hearth. You keep the spirit alive. Domestic situation. Knight of Wands. It looks like you're going to do some traveling, which of course Sagittarius is like, yay, I'm going to travel. Sagittarius loves a good trip. So it looks like you're going to be traveling. You're going to be moving around a lot. So trips, whether long or short, will be beneficial for you this month, I think. Get yourself on the road a little bit, get out of your environment, go out into nature, connect that way. I think that's going to be very useful for you. Hopes and fears. Yeah, the Seven of Cups, making the wrong choice, right? Making the wrong choice, to not being able to see clearly enough to make a choice might have you a little bit concerned. You don't want a choice. Here's the Ace of Cups. There you go. There you go, sister or brother. There's the Ace of Cups. Happiness. So this was at the root. So this is like a small inclination, intimation that something good is coming your way. And then you get the big cup at the end of the month. So I like that. Let's see if we can pull a major arcana. We have the Three of Swords. So there has been some heartbreak. But remember, the Three of Swords isn't just about heartbreak, but it's about cracking open your heart. A heart that hasn't been wounded is a heart that's broken open is a heart that can hold more love and have more compassion and have more understanding for people. Connected to this, somebody who acted impulsively, perhaps, that broke your heart. And then the King of Swords. And so the Knight of Swords is somebody who's immature. The King of Swords is somebody who's mature. So if that's the case for you, the person, or even yourself, if you're the one who is impulsive, and Sag can be somewhat impulsive. We can't kid ourselves, can we? But that you're going to mature from the situation. So even though there might be some pain there, you're going to learn your lesson. You're not going to do that again. All right, let's see what's underneath. We have the Eight of Cups, which is walking away from something that's no longer emotionally fulfilling, even though you've put a lot of energy into it. It's just not worth it anymore, no matter how much you've invested. And so you turn your back and you move into something that's more spiritually fulfilling for you. The Two of Cups, that's a relationship. So a new relationship or a new way of relating between equals. And the Three of Cups, which is joy and happiness and community and everybody's enjoying themselves together. This is a lovely card. So it just says that if you walk away from something, that you're going to walk into something that's much more fulfilling for you. So don't be afraid of what you need to do. You need to protect yourself. You need to make good choices. There is happiness coming for you. You have to trust that, and you will learn your lesson. Your lesson will be learned. So nothing goes without, everything serves on some level. And of course, when we learn from our challenges, I don't like to say mistakes because I idea that there's no such thing as mistakes, just lessons. But if you learn the lessons, then you get to not have to repeat them. Isn't that lovely? All right, let's pick a rune. A rune, not a ruin. A rune. Now, what did I do with my runes? Hold on. I had lost my rune. Isa. Isa. Who got this rune? Gemini, I think, got this rune as well. So if you happen to have Gemini in your chart as well, this is double for Gemini, right? This is about standing in your power. This is about standing and not necessarily doing anything. So it's not about action. It's really about standing in your space, holding your space, observing. Okay, not action, but just stand and observe. You'll have plenty of time for action in the future. So not to worry. You don't have to react. You don't have to act. You just have to. One more, which is a ancestor oracle here. Ancestors and angel oracle. And let's see what it says for this. No, wait. Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. Your inner knowing is your intuition, right? And if there's anybody who knows intuition, it's Sagittarius. You can always trust it, Sag. You can always trust it. Can't always trust your mind, but you can trust your intuition. All right, let's see. Medicine Mother. Okay. Action, do what you know you need to do. That's interesting because the other card said don't take action. The rune, let me see. There is an old pattern rising up in you. You're being encouraged to love and respect yourself enough to take the steps you know you need to take to move closer to where you'd like to be. You already know the answers. You know what you need to do. You may have been using delay tact, but now you are being guided to take action. Action requires courage, but your angels and guides are bringing you the courage to move forward. Take just one step. When you do, the next one will be presented to you. Okay, so let me just pull another rune because I don't like this double meaning. Let's see if we can elucidate that for you. So below, this is the sun. This is the luckiest rune in the day. So what I would say is wait for your moment. Stay in this place of stillness And when the moment arrives, you'll take the action. This rune doesn't have a reverse, so this is always a positive rune. This is coming. All right. Don't shoot yourself in the foot if you have a tendency. Not needed this time. All right, I hope you enjoyed that reading. Please like and subscribe if you would. If you know a Sag who would benefit from this reading, share it with them. The thumbs up helps, the shares help. I do have a Patreon page. That helps too if you want to support me in a little bit more direct way. I do personal readings, astrology, Kabbalah, numerology, combination readings. I do have availability. You just have to go to my website. There is a link below for that. I am starting a transit class for my astrology students. You just have to know the basics. If you are one of my astrology students and you want to take transits, I'm doing transits starting on the 27th of May. That's a Monday. It goes six weeks, consecutive Mondays. You don't have to be in all the classes. I do record them and send them to you after the class. I'm also starting a list for people who are interested in introduction to the Kabbalah. I want to see what kind of interest I have before I start the class. So if you can email me if you're interested in that. And I want to see how many people are, because the summer is always a little bit of a challenge getting classes together because so many people want to go on vacation, right? Who can blame them? Who wants to do it, right? Okay, sorry, I just had a drop. So as I said, uh, trust your instincts, trust your intuition. You have good ones. I don't have to tell you, but there is a lot of information coming in. And so it may be best just to wait to see what all that information is before making a decision, right? All right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful month. Namaste.